whole week Shenzhen will be locked down. So I just ran.
Holy shit. So, would you say that right now the Chinese government isn't doing a very good job?
Well.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Prazi, and today I wanted to talk to my Chinese friend, one of my best friends who's living in China, about just what the hell is going on up there. A few things before we start. Number one is that we shot this when she just so happened to be in the middle of her weird Chinese skincare routine, so she's wearing this black mask. It is not an attempt to hide her identity or anything like that. She's not in any danger. The other thing is that this is a 45-minute conversation that I have cut down for you because I understand that not everyone has that much patience. But if you do want to see the full-length video, if it's that interesting to you, you can go over to my Patreon where I've posted the longer-length video over there. And the other thing is that, of course, she is my friend and she's doing me a big favor by coming on my channel. So while you can feel free to disagree with me or her, just don't be a dick. Anyways, all that out of the way, let's get at her.
Is it scary?
Looking good. How's your Jian?
Oh, the Chinese is getting better.
Well, it's been a long time since I've seen you, so. I want to do it this way because I want people to understand what's happening in China a little bit. And the reason I'm choosing you is that me and you were like best friends, and you helped me understand China back when we were young and I was working in China, and we would often debate about China or Chinese politics or Chinese history or Chinese culture, and you would always help me understand sort of the rhyme and the reason for why things were happening in China, because I was never really good at that. And I think a lot of the West right now isn't understanding what's going on in China, and to be honest, I don't really understand what's going on in China, so I'm hoping to maybe if we could just talk to an actual Chinese person, we can get a better understanding of what's going on. So, are you still in lockdown?
No, Shenzhen is already, it's not as strict as before. So on March there's 1 week, it's at the whole Shenzhen, it's almost every district are on a lockdown, so everything paused. But after 1 week, things get slowly going back to normal. I feel like Shenzhen, everything is coming back to normal again.
What does that mean? So you don't have to wear masks, you can go back to it was in 2018 or early 2019?
That's not. I mean, the normal things is they're not as strict as before. They don't allow you to before is you have to do the swab test every day. You have to follow many, you have to stay in your apartment. You can't, even the one family only allow one member to go out to get food or something. So right now it's you have more freedom. You can go to places, but mask it's still will remind, they will remind you to wear it.
That's funny that you describe that going back to normal is just the government being less strict. But okay, so that's fine. So what about?
You mean that the normal things will be we don't wear masks, we can go anywhere.
Like normal.
I mean, is that how Taiwanese, the people in Taiwan do?
No.
They don't wear masks.
In Taiwan we have a mask mandate, so we are also forced to wear masks.
So you're also forced to do something.
Yes.
Do you need to take the swab tests?
I think it's the same where companies will require you to take it, but right now it's difficult to find those rapid ones where you can just do it at home. So right now it's difficult to find them and not many people can buy them. So I might have COVID right now and I don't know because I can't go buy a test kit. So.
Oh, so the government won't do that for you guys?
You mean will the government?
You do by. So we don't do by ourselves. We go to the neighborhood. So they will organize a place just for people to do it. So we have to wait for a long line to do that. So in Taiwan, do that? You just do it at home?
Yeah, you can do it at home.
But how do you know? How do people know you have the virus or not?
Well, I think that there's maybe a higher degree of trust. But yeah, I suppose you could fake it if you want to.
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
Because so right now, almost every people in China, in mainland, we cannot leave with our phone. If you don't have the phone, you can prove that you have the green code, you almost can't do anything. You can't take the metro, you can't take the public transportation, you can't go to anywhere. So you have to have the code to provide information to prove that you are safe.
You basically, in China, what you're saying is that you can't do anything unless you test negative for the virus. Okay.
Yes. So if you are positive, then you're probably in the hospital, and you can't stay in your house.
Wow. In Taiwan, if you're positive, you can stay in your house, but you do have to stay in your house.
I heard that's what people do in Shanghai right now, because there's so many people get infected. So if you do show you are positive, then you stay home. But because so many people, they don't have the symptoms.
Is it not in complete lockdown, as in like nobody can leave regardless if you have COVID or not?
You mean Shenzhen?
In Shanghai.
Well, the information I got before from my friend is that it's not the whole Shanghai lockdown. But Shenzhen before is that the whole Shenzhen we pause. Like the news already on almost everywhere says that like midnight, from midnight the whole week Shenzhen will be locked down. So I just ran.
Holy shit. Why are Chinese people so okay with this?
Because they trust the government. I think they trust what they do. It's finding the better way, finding the right way to save people's lives. Human rights. In here, I feel like human rights is more like people's health. It's more important than everything.
That seems to be the same thing here in Taiwan. I made a video talking about how I wished Taiwan would just open up and end the restrictions. And a lot of Taiwanese people were coming back and saying that people's health is the most important thing and they trust the CDC. But don't you think it's a bit much, like what's happening in Shanghai? Like they're flying drones telling people to like stay inside and be careful about your freedom and make sure that you don't go out and don't walk your dogs, and they're literally barricading people inside their apartments. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Have you seen those green cages where they literally block off the entrance and exits so people can't leave?
Yeah, I heard about that. And then, like I told you before, if it's not from what my friend told me from their own experience, I won't even trust that.
You wouldn't even believe it?
Because I won't even trust that's what's happening in Shanghai. And even many people around me, like my friend in Shenzhen or in other places, because we have the good chat. So, and then almost everybody don't believe that's what's happening in 21st century, that people in Shanghai are still starving then. They were afraid that they don't have enough food to survive. But I don't know whether that's too exaggerated. But I do ask my friend. What she told me is that you have to hold your phone on time and click the button really fast, or like the food will gone in 1 minute or even 1 second. So it's really, I mean, like, it's really hard. As you say, for the old people who don't know how to do the online stuff, it's really sad.
So, yeah, it does sound sad, and it doesn't sound normal, and like, this is what I want people to understand, is like, you're a reasonable person. Most Chinese people are somewhat reasonable people, but yet they're like, I don't want to say they're okay with this. Like, I think, would you say that people aren't okay with what's happening?
You mean like the people, is there any people I'm okay with it?
You're okay with this?
No, of course not. I don't think I'm okay with that.
So, would you say that right now the Chinese government isn't doing a very good job?
Well, if you think through which perspective, whose perspective? If you see like the one I tell you, like the don't laugh, I'm just telling you.
Well, I mean, I know what you mean, but it's like okay, I'll let you talk. It's just okay.
But you're laughing. It's like telling me that what I'm saying is ridiculous.
Because it sounds a bit ridiculous. Like, you just told me that Shanghai's under lockdown and they're burying people in their houses and no one has enough food to eat. And I'm like, so the government's not doing a good job. And you're like, well, it depends. And I'm like, what the fuck? Come on. Like, listen, I thought you're a rational person, and like...
Let me finish talking.
Okay.
Shanghai, the population is like...
Very big.
Like
26 million, I think.
2500... I don't know how to say...
26 million.
But my point is that it's not all the people in Shanghai are being treated like that.
But this is this.
See what I mean?
I see what you mean, but this reason, this argument is something that I feel like China uses a lot, where it's like, it's not everybody that's going through this thing. It's just some people. So who gives a shit? It's like. If you look at any excuse that they'll have throughout their history, they'll say like, oh, it was only some Chinese people, not all of them, so it doesn't matter. It kind of like, just because some people have no food to eat and their doors are locked and they can't leave and their freedoms have been completely stripped, it's fine because it's not everybody.
Listen, I do agree with what you say, but let's say, if you were the people in charge, and then what policy can you do?
Well, so this is why I think it's complicated, because I think in China and Taiwan both, it's complicated because no one in the government wants to lose face by making the wrong decision. It's kind of difficult for them to figure out what to do. Now, when it comes to the Chinese government, I don't agree with the Chinese government. I think that it's fundamentally wrong in its approach to everything, pretty much.
Wait, listen. You say it is because they're afraid they are losing face, because they're making the wrong decisions. So what is the right decisions?
Well, okay, so let's go through COVID, and especially the Omicron variant, and what is that? So do you think that the Omicron variant of COVID is fatal and dangerous?
Well, it's dangerous to the old people.
Okay, it's dangerous to old people. And because it's dangerous to old people, and this is again another argument I've heard from a lot of Chinese people and Taiwanese people, is that they care very much about the elderly and they respect the elderly and they'll do anything to protect them. And so it's a bit different. So it's dangerous to the elderly, but why can't the elderly just get vaccinated?
Well, they get. Most of the, I think
No.
there's a large population in China already get that.
I think you're right, but I think in China and Taiwan, actually I don't think, I know that in China and Taiwan, most of the unvaccinated people are the elderly, and those are the ones you're trying to protect. So I'm not saying force them to get the vaccination, but I think that if they want to be protected, they should get vaccinated. I'm not like an anti-vaxxer or anything, but I think that they should get vaccinated. But I think what you're doing is you've completely, I won't say completely, but you've done a lot of damage to China's economy with these lockdowns for the sake of these old people who could just get vaccinated and protect themselves instead of you sacrificing so much to do it for them.
How to say, the population of the old people is large in China.
Yes.
Their life is also life. You know, like the one if they get affected and if the vaccine didn't work very well, and they die easily. If you lose life, there's no human right at all. I think that's what people think.
I think, yeah, I've heard that a lot as well, is that people say without health, how can there be freedom or how can there be anything? In Chinese culture, because you guys are a lot more socialist, you're a lot more collectivist, and so you're a lot more willing to take care of each other by sacrificing things in your own life to help protect others. But I think now we've seen that these measures to protect everyone aren't working. These lockdowns aren't working. So it just seems like it doesn't really seem like China knows what it's doing right now. It's kind of scary looking. From the outside world looking in, it looks crazy.
You think about that. Which country has that many population as China do? We can't take the risks. If it do affect, like at the beginning time we don't do that, and then or right now the government don't do that, we probably will face the risks.
I mean,
you know?
I understand, but it's a bit ironic since your country started the whole fucking thing in the beginning.
And I don't know, like I do care about my freedom, but I also think that why government do that, and why people think that's okay to do that.
What?
Because I mean, like just like what you say just now, it's not really hard to understand, right? Do you think it's hard to
I
understand
think, yeah, I think when people are watching videos of, you know, these old women being held down, forced to take these COVID tests, when the government is hanging up these green gates around people's doors, when people are drilling people's doors shut, I think for a lot of people around the world, that's kind of hard for us to understand.
Like the video, the things you say, I didn't saw that. You mean like
Okay.
what did they do?
Well, I can send them to you later.
You know what? You say from outside world, people outside saying China, what China doing right now is ridiculous.
Mhm.
But in mainland, in China, people are thinking what the outside world doing. Many people think that it's ridiculous.
You mean like completely
Yeah.
stopping all restrictions?
It's totally different because when I go back home, I talk to my parents or talk to my uncle, talk to my neighbor. I mean, like my family side. You know that I'm planning to go to UK, and then they thought I'm crazy because right now it's so serious outside. And then I think they do. It's normal. People go back to normal life outside of China, and then like it's over now. My mom said that no, it means that if the government don't doing anything right now, it means that you have to just like you protect yourself. If the people around you all get affected, you probably will get affected easily, right? And then you're in dangerous.
I don't
And
think
then
I'm in danger. I don't think the Omicron variant is that dangerous.
And then they say that people outside the world right now, especially the government, don't do anything, so they think it's very dangerous. It's not protecting humans' life.
Right. Okay. I think that's another thing that's interesting about Chinese culture is that you guys don't deal with things that are outside of your sphere of influence.
Yes.
Yeah.
True. So you cared about your families or like the people around you. If that's not you or your business, they probably don't have that.
Yeah. You 不在乎.
I don't. It's just like you guys, like we will cry for the president who if the one who's not the president you want, you will cry. For us, who cares?
Because you have no choice.
Yeah, even though we have the choice, and then let's say today if this guy to be the president or that one, doesn't matter for us. So
Yeah.
for me, when I see like my coworkers, they cry for like before Trump.
I remember
get
that,
the
yeah.
president, they cry.
Well, thanks for talking to me, buddy.
Okay.
Pal.
So fake.
That's so fake. Why is that fake?
I don't know. It's just like I prefer like that. We talk like super. You're not actually making the video. It's just like random talk.
Just like friends?
Mm.
But I think people really like this conversation because it's like giving them like an insider view on China, you know?
Maybe you're actually helping people. Do you?
I hope so.
And that's that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like these type of discussions with Chinese people, let me know. I'm sure I'll have a lot more with her in the future. I think they're really interesting and fun to do. And if you like longer form discussions, you can go check out the Alan and Prozzy podcast over on Patreon. We put one out every single week. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, stay positive, keep your stick on the ice, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.